The Delhi government's film policy is a comprehensive list which intends to promote Delhi as a city and also to help young producers to showcase their talent. There are three provisions which are worth mentioning. First, the setting up of a 30 crore fund to help the producers. Second, the provision which will enable the government to hold international film festivals every year. Third, the provision of subsidy which will be provided to young filmmakers with certain riders. A being number of hours being shot in Delhi. Second, the amount of local artists being employed in the film. And third, the way Delhi is showcased in the film. Let's now talk to Mr. Ashish Srivastav, who is an acclaimed documentary maker. There's a policy which was, being announced by the Delhi government, which tends to promote Delhi as a city and also make it as a very prominent movie production hub. So, what do you think? Looking at looking at the provisions of the policy, do you think it is actually it'll actually result in a good making for the entire filmmaking is concerned, sort of?
It's a great policy.
Right.
A policy which is long awaited and should have been there. What it's going to promote, well, time will tell.
Right.
But definitely, it's a great step, and it'll help lot many people.
Right. So, coming to the specifics, there are provisions like 30 crore film fund. There are provisions like annual film festivals which will be organized by the Delhi government, and there are also a very very important provision of a subsidy which will be given, which will be around 3 crores for the producers. With certain writers, like if they are going to engage local artists from the city, they are going to use they're going to perform, or they're going to rather shoot for a certain number of days. They're going to involve the local people. So what do you think? How are the riders? Will the riders actually play itself out, or rather will it act as a hindrance if you sort of in the
No, it will not be a hindrance at all. The riders have to be kept. You can't have anything without riders.
Right.
Otherwise, it will be complete chaos.
Right.
So you have to set rules, and as long as the rules are, not final fixed, maybe they can over time they can be changed, or they can be modified as per the requirement. But I think it's all in the right direction.
Okay. So, one of the provisions which I found it very interesting, and which a lot of other filmmakers have also talked about, is that the single window clearance.
That is the best thing.
So, what do you think about it? I mean, what was it previously that it took some time? There was a lot of bureaucratic involvement in there. You had to run through and very complex system. So, what do you think about this?
There was no system as such, I would say, because so many departments, and so you had to manage everything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean there was no system which was in place. So you had to know someone there, or you had to move your way.
Right.
And then, but this is a good system, and what I read, it said that it's going to happen in 15 days, and which is a great thing. 15 days is.
Yeah.
And they also have a provision where it can be done in 5 days also.
Right.
So that is very good.
So, in the sense, it has actually fast tracked the system quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
See, it's not going to help the very big films, the big productions, because if you talk of a big Bollywood film,
Right.
so for a producer or a director working at that level, it may not make that kind of difference, because they anyway have line producers doing this.
Right.
So it's a job of a line producer, which has got now it's become simpler.
Right.
But for the filmmaker, I mean, it was simple for him even then. Okay. So, but for a smaller filmmaker with smaller budgets, with probably not a big line producer, this will help.
Okay. So coming back to our primary question about promoting Delhi as a city. Sort of the underlying theme of this entire policy to sort of highlight Delhi as a city, and especially the lesser known parts of Delhi, because the more famous parts of Delhi has been showcased in couple films and theaters and in serials, but the lesser known parts of Delhi. So do you think that will the government be successful in that attempt, or it depends on the script?
See, I think whenever a film is made, a film is not created or designed on the basis of policies or permissions. I will not make a film because there is some permission or something which I am getting from somewhere.
Right.
There may be some people who would do that also.
Right.
But good films are not made that way.
Right.
Okay. So they are not made to get some funding from somewhere or get some subsidy.
Mm-hmm.
So that basic question, I mean, will not be answered here.
Right.
But and the second part which you said about promoting Delhi,
Right.
Films are not made. No filmmaker makes a film to promote a city.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. That is the agenda of a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
You end up promoting a place because your story is about that place.
Right.
So I don't think so that, but because it's making the process simpler for the filmmaker.
Right.
So you're solving his problem. So it's good.
Yeah. So I mean, if not directly, so can we say by extension, Delhi as a city will be promoted more? People throughout India and maybe throughout the globe will see other places of Delhi which were not explored up till now.
Definitely, it'll help. And see, whether people come here or don't come here, a policy has to be there.
Right.
Okay. People will not come because of there's a policy, but people will come because Delhi has the potential.
Right.
They have locations.
Right.
Delhi has stories.
Right.
So people will come.
Right.
So this policy will help making things easier for them, which is good.
Right. So just to sum it up, on paper the policy looks excellent. Right?
I think on paper it has everything that a policy should have.
Yeah, it has everything. But when it comes to implementation, as a creative person, you would be more aware of it. When it comes to implementation, many states have such kind of film policies. But you have worked in various states. You worked in Kashmir.
But if you talk of such policies, I'm not sure about the data about how many films have been made.
Right.
And how much has been achieved.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, things have become easier, and states they promise that they will give a lot to the filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, what happens? I mean, of course they give,
Right.
but see, there's another side to it. I'll give you a small example. For example, I'm making a small film,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to shoot a place.
Mm-hmm.
Say I want to shoot in a society.
Right.
So I go there, I talk to the RW, I get permissions, and I do that. When I go through the proper channel,
Mm-hmm.
then it could be very difficult. Maybe the cost for that is too high,
Right.
and that is coming back to me as a subsidy. So
Right.
this also happens.
Yeah. So there's a catch, right?
No, it's not a catch. It's not a catch, but that is the way to do.
Right.
But a small filmmaker would probably not go through that route.
Right. Right. So
That's probably not even legal, but he's
Yeah.
doing it.
yeah.
Now you're making things legal for him, and then you're giving back him the subsidy. Yeah, it's a good thing in a way, but I hope people switch over to this.
So what I think Mr. Srivastav is hinting at is that the policy needs to be read with a lot of care. It has to be watched carefully. It has to be seen that how far it is successful in terms of
Because
implementation.
now details are not there.
Yeah.
How that 30 crores is going to get spent.
Right. So a lot of the provisions are still a little, it's little unclear. So
But there are certain very, very good things like the film festival.
right.
That is, I would say, one of the best things.
Right.
Delhi needed a film festival, and so everybody would be waiting for it.
Right.
There are private festivals which are happening, but a festival like this, a state festival, which should be very good. They also have this they will make a directory where they will have all the professionals, all the crew, cameramen and all the makeup artists. They'll have a
there's a provision. There's
so
a
that is
provision
also a
for
good
that.
thing.
There's
That's
a provision for
good
that
thing,
too. Right. Yeah. So.
No, I love the policy, and I think anybody who's got anything to do with filmmaking will love the policy. And I don't know how helpful it would be for smaller filmmakers when they're making a film. It says that it's going to promote film education and introduce courses.
Right.
But how much it's going to help for making small films, that we really don't know as of now. Big films, yes. Because I was reading and it said that the smallest category they had was 5 crores.
Right.
So I don't know who's making a documentary in 5 crores or who's making.
That's a lot of
how many
money for
filmmakers in
documentary.
Delhi are doing feature films also for 5 crores.
Right. So what exactly is this ambitious policy by the Delhi government, which seeks to promote Delhi as a tourist destination, as a production house, a movie production house, and incentivize documentary makers, filmmakers, and producers to shoot their movies or their work in Delhi? It's a comprehensive list of provisions which the Delhi government has lately come out with, and which intends basically to highlight the lesser known parts of Delhi. We all know that Delhi as a national capital has been highlighted enough in movies, in theaters, in serials, but as the other parts of Delhi, the lesser known parts of Delhi, which has not got that much of coverage. So this policy is intended for that. It also wants to retain the local talent. It also wants to retain the local skills, so that people from Delhi, they are given more opportunities within the city, and the aesthetics, or so to say the creative field, is made more favorable for them. This is Siddharth Chakravarti reporting for the Federal.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more interesting updates.